fast car. I wanted to get to anywhere.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the live performances that ended a singer's hiatus, revived their fame, or came after a period of uncertainty in their career. Number 10, Jonas Brothers, The Late Late Show with James Corden.
Please welcome the Jonas Brothers.
Millions of millennials completely freaked out when Nick, Joe, and Kevin Jonas announced they were getting the band back together. Late Late Show host James Corden got in on the action by having the brothers on his show for nearly a whole week to commemorate the occasion. When they debuted Sucker, their first single together in 6 years, the audience was full of screaming fans.
I'm a sucker for you.
The performance featured some wicked stagecraft. With moving platforms and an entire troupe of backup dancers, the whole thing looked more like a full-scale award show than a late-night set. Number 9, Mariah Carey, Good Morning America. The stakes were high for the emancipation of Mimi. Mariah Carey's last studio album didn't get the best reviews, and she had barely recovered from the box office disaster of Glitter.
They had this movement, it was called Justice, #Justice for Glitter, which I think was directed at me because I never really performed those songs, because it almost ruined my life.
The auspicious start of the album's American release was a short concert on Good Morning America. As soon as she came out in that fur coat and sparkling dress, it was clear the Queen was back and the mic was on. She captivated the adoring Times Square crowd for 20 magical minutes. With each song, you could literally see her gaining in power and confidence.
I held on to my faith, I struggled and I prayed, and now I found my way.
Number 8, Gloria Estefan, 18th Annual American Music Awards. There was a possibility that Gloria Estefan would never perform again. The Cuban-American singer was involved in a devastating tour bus accident in 1990, which fractured her spine.
You see, there was a time last spring when we were all praying for her. It didn't look as if though she was going to be appearing on this American Music Awards anytime again. She had just had 8 top 10 hits. Gloria Estefan was on top of the world.
She took nearly a year to heal. When she did return, the entire audience at the 1991 American Music Awards stood and applauded before she even began her song. Visibly emotional at the response, she tore through her newest single, Coming Out of the Dark. Inspired by something her husband said to her in the wake of the accident, it's a ballad about emotional strength and finding strength in love that spoke to the magnitude of the moment. Estefan wasn't just back, she was better than ever. Number 7, Barbra Streisand, One Voice. Despite putting out nearly 40 albums over the past 60 years and having one of the best voices in music, Barbra Streisand concerts are famously scarce.
I could never imagine myself wanting to sing in public again. But then I could never imagine, with all our advanced technology, the starvation of bodies and minds, and the possibility of nuclear winters in our lives.
She doesn't tour albums the way many artists do, so when she announced she was doing a one-time-only concert in 1986 for a host of her favorite charities, it became an event unto itself. The audience was a who's who of Hollywood royalty. Even music legends like Bette Midler and Whitney Houston expressed their excitement at seeing Streisand sing live for the very first time. The concert, filmed on Streisand's ranch, itself is perfection from start to finish. Number 6, Joni Mitchell, Joni Mitchell at Newport. The master singer-songwriter's recovery is one of music's most unlikely comebacks. Joni Mitchell's career as a performer was already slowing down when she experienced a damaging brain aneurysm in 2015. 7 years later, Mitchell made a triumphant return to the stage at the legendary Newport Folk Festival.
I looked at life
she was not alone. She was supported on all sides by several other famous singers and admirers, including Brandi Carlile, Wynonna Judd, and Marcus Mumford. Even as she performed most of the set from the comfort of an ornate easy chair, she still had an enormous stage presence. It was a concert as much as it was a celebration of her career. Number 5, Destiny's Child, Super Bowl 47.
Give it up for Destiny's Child.
After they marked their last performance in 2006, the trio made up of Beyonce, Kelly Rowland, and Michelle Williams went their separate ways. It would take 7 years for them to reunite, and they couldn't have picked a better occasion. When she was chosen to headline the 2013 Super Bowl halftime show, it was rumored that Beyoncé's husband, Jay-Z, would be the special guest. Instead, halfway through the show, her former bandmates were rocketed out of the stage to join her for a medley of their hits. Destiny's Child set the stage on fire that night. And yes, we do mean that literally.
Good morning, Angel.
Good morning, Charlie.
Number 4, Fleetwood Mac. Fleetwood Mac, The Dance. Mick Fleetwood's band has gone through many lineups over the years. Its most iconic and successful one featured Lindsey Buckingham, Christine McVie, John McVie, and Stevie Nicks, whose behind-the-scenes tension inspired some of their best songs. Having broken up in 1987, the Rumors-era lineup came back together briefly for the 1993 Clinton inauguration.
Don't stop thinking about tomorrow. Don't stop.
But we'd have to wait until 1997 for a full reunion. The Dance is a night of great songs, nostalgia, and years of pent-up emotions playing out on stage. The concert filmed at Warner Brothers Studios ended in explosive fashion with the full USC Trojan marching band on stage. Number 3, Tina Turner, 27th Annual Grammy Awards.
This year she's made one of the biggest comebacks in show business history. I mean, it's incredible. She's been described, and you'll like this, she's been described as the woman God made to show other women how to dance in high-heel shoes.
After surviving a disastrous and agonizing marriage, Tina Turner went from performing in arenas and packed theaters to hotel lounges and small clubs. What's Love Got to Do with It from the Private Dancer album was her second chance.
What's love got to do with it? What's love?
She cleaned up at the Grammys, tying with Prince for most awards of the night. The barn-burning performance of her new signature hit became the perfect climax of her unlikely comeback story. It wasn't the first time she'd performed it on TV, but it represented the reality that the irrepressible queen of rock and roll was back. Number 2, Celine Dion, 33rd Olympic Summer Games.
I miss it so much. The people. I miss them.
Although she told CBC's Adrienne Arsenault, expect a comeback.
Over the past few years, we've watched as the world-renowned Canadian singer has opened up about her diagnosis of stiff person syndrome. Celine Dion's battle with the neurological disorder left people with doubts that she would ever perform again, despite her own promise to return no matter what it took.
It didn't take anything away from me. I'm gonna go back on stage, even if I have to crawl.
She keeps her promises. She was the surprise guest at the end of the 2024 Paris Olympics opening ceremony. From the Eiffel Tower, Dion powered through the classic French love song Hymne à l'amour. Even if you had no idea what she'd been through, it was a stunning performance. And if you did know, it seemed like a miracle.
Add hope, then, to the countless emotions Dion's talent has shared.
Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions. Rihanna, Super Bowl 57. We're still waiting on that album, but we can't deny how epic this halftime show was. Tracy Chapman, 66th Annual Grammy Awards. Luke Combs' cover of Fast Car and their duet brought her back to the Grammys.
You got a fast car, I got a job that pays all our bills.
Britney Spears, Bombi Vorlayang, 2008. After a very difficult year, Spears returned to live performance with her new single. Usher, Super Bowl 58. One of the best showmen in music proved he still has it.
And everything in your past, you wanna let it go out in there, turn it.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Elvis Presley, Elvis. For the better part of the 1960s, the king of rock and roll had all but abandoned touring for a successful career in the movies. Seeing Elvis Presley on screen was one thing, but fans were missing the raw power of his live performances. This hour-long concert for TV was a return to his adoring public as much as it was a chance to reintroduce himself to a new generation of listeners, more than 10 years removed from his big break.
Reach out my hand until I touch the skies.
The 1968 special was an instant hit when it premiered on NBC. It drew a massive audience, with nearly half of all TV watchers tuning in that night. The special single-handedly relaunched his career in music.
If I can dream of a better land where all my brothers walk hand in hand.
Which of these comebacks was most iconic to you? Sound off in the comments. Agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.